Question I've got for you this hour is this. Is Trump now just looking for the quickest and simplest way to exit this war? If so, do you welcome that? And what would the long-term consequences be? Because a lot of people are also talking about, well, are we heading for a third world war? I think there are a lot of dots to join before we get to that point, but I know a lot of people really fear that. 0345 6060 973. Simon Marks joins us, LBC's Washington correspondent. Simon, Donald Trump is known for going back on things that he said only sort of 24 hours later or even less. Is this the mother of all U-turns by him?
Well, it's a very substantial U-turn. There's absolutely no doubt about that, Ian. And it comes at a point where he is very eager to get this military conflict wrapped up. This has not gone the way that he anticipated. He thought this would all be very quick, that there would be an uprising inside Iran by the Iranian people. To some extent, he appears to have been encouraged in that view by the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. And we've learnt within the last few minutes that the president has now spoken to the Israeli leader about the conversations that US officials say are underway with figures inside the Iranian government. Prime Minister Netanyahu has said, I spoke earlier today with President Trump. He believes there is a chance to leverage the military achievements of the war to get all the objectives of the war through an agreement. Note the use of the phrase there by Benjamin Netanyahu that he, President Trump, believes there's an opportunity here to get an agreement. Prime Minister Netanyahu very much not saying, I think there's an opportunity through negotiation to get an agreement. And I think that there will be questions, given the divergence that we've seen, even on the battlefield between the United States and Israeli armed forces over the course of the last few days, how the American president is able to persuade the Israeli government, if necessary, to down weaponry should any kind of an agreement be achieved. Let's find out what Donald Trump has to say about the state of the talks. He's been talking over the last few hours on a visit to Memphis and has been describing the conversations that he says his emissaries have been having with the Iranians.
We are now having really good discussions. They started last night, a little bit, the night before that, and I think they're very good. They want peace. They've agreed they will not have a nuclear weapon, et cetera, et cetera. But we'll see. You have to get it done. But I would say there's a very good chance. And it began when I said that I won't be. We were planning tomorrow on shooting down some of their power plants, and we're going to hold that up. Hopefully we won't have to do it. And hopefully we can make a deal that's good for all of us, including the Middle Eastern allies that have been very good to us, including Israel, that's been a great partner in this fight. They've really been a good partner in the fight. They fought hard. But we'll see what happens. I think there's a very good chance we're going to end up in a deal. And so we're giving it 5 days, and then we're going to see where that takes us. And I would say at the end of this period, I think it could very well end up being a very good deal for everybody, as good as if we went all the way and just literally annihilated the place, which if we don't have to do that, that would be a good thing, not a bad thing.
Now, you do have to wonder why he's giving talks 5 more days, given that this conflict began on February the 28th at a point where talks had been underway in Geneva between the US and Iranian officials and had absolutely been making progress. And you heard President Trump there cite as the one thing that he says he's heard from the Iranians now, that they don't want to develop nuclear weapons. Well, they said that in the days leading up to the conflict during the Geneva talks that the president abandoned. So there are going to be all sorts of questions for him still about why he chose to go to war, and also now about the legitimacy that he is conferring, it would seem, on Iran's parliamentary speaker, Mohammad Khalibaf, who is apparently the top Iranian official with whom Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner are negotiating. He's absolutely a fervent representative of the old guard in Iran, very close to the slain supreme leader, the late Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. Whatever happened, Iain, to the plan for the Iranian people to have their moment, to rise up, take control of their own country and chart their own destiny? We are hearing absolutely nothing about that anymore as these talks apparently continue, possibly indirectly, between the United States and Iran.
Simon, thank you very much indeed.